Hi guys, good morning. Welcome to my channel. I hope y'all are doing well. I hope you guys had a great weekend. This is a day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. The Lord is awesome. No matter what we may encounter in our lives, He is awesome. I want to talk with you guys about a dream I had. It was so gross. And I've had this dream. This is the second time this year that I've had a dream about something attacking me. And every time I fight with it, I end up either grabbing it like where my hand is in its mouth or something like that. It's so weird. But last night I had this strange dream, and in the dream I was somewhere. I don't know where I was. It looked like I was at a church or something, and something happened that I don't remember, but there was some kind of conflict, and I think it did not get resolved as far as I could see. I don't know if this particular thing tried to attack me there, but it did not get resolved. I want to say that no one was even defending me, but I'm not sure if that's how it went down. But anyway, I'm somewhere. Looks like I'm going up some stairs or something like that, and this thing attacks me. It looks like it would be an individual, but there's something about it where it's just black. That's how it looks to me. That's how I kind of remember it. I can't remember any specific features or anything about it, but it's trying to, almost feels like it's between like trying to hurt me and trying to almost like do some pervy stuff. And I just get a hold of it. And the only place I end up grabbing this thing is in the mouth. Like, somehow my hand is grabbing, like, I would say, like, grabbing it by the lower jaw or something, you know? And in my dream, I'm having to hit it with something else. It's like I'm bashing it from the outside. But while my hand is on the inside of his mouth, I'm feeling all this disgusting stuff. You know what I think of? Like if it's maybe, for example, something like what you would imagine if you've ever seen the movie Predator, and you know how the Predator's mouth was. It looks like, if you could imagine holding your hands in front of your mouth, put both your hands together. Some of you that don't know Predator, I'm sorry to explain as much, but if you held both your hands together and put it in front of your mouth and interlace your fingers, and you just wiggle your fingers together, that's how Predator's mouth is, right? So imagine if you put your hand in Predator's mouth and all the little things are moving around your fingers, how disgusting that would be. Well, that's what it felt like when this thing, I grabbed it, and somehow when I grabbed it up by the lower jaw, so my fingers, a part of my fingers were in its mouth, and I'm feeling all this going on inside. It was so disgusting, and I could not, all I could do was keep hitting it, and like, I am destroying this thing. I can tell just all that was happening. I was destroying it, because as I'm hitting it, I can feel it sort of disintegrating and whatever. And because my hands are have it grabbed by the lower jaw, I'm feeling all this gross stuff happening to it as it's being destroyed. And that was a disgusting dream. I hated that dream. And it reminded me of a dream that I had earlier in the year. And it was something similar, but in this dream, it felt more real, meaning I wasn't sleeping. I was kind of awake, but it was one of those things that I feel myself being frozen, like I can't move, I can't talk, and I sense this thing is right there next to me. And it had to be like after 4 or something in the morning, because I had got up earlier to, go to the bathroom or whatever. And then I went and I laid back down. And so as I'm there, you know how you're kind of dozing, but not really. And I just feel that creepy feeling. And the sting comes over and it's right there next to me. And in my mind, I begin to start to pray and to take authority over this thing. But what I did was like, somehow it was near me and I could feel it. Like I can feel its face, like. And if I could describe what the texture of that thing felt like, it didn't feel, how human skin feels. So if I could describe it, if the color matte, if matte had a color, it would feel like that. Matte, M-A-T-T-E. You know how matte is like they have it in lipstick, or in things. It's not shiny, it's dull. So it felt like if there was a texture to matte, that's what it feels like. And as a matter of fact, what's coming in my mind is like, I've held charcoal in my hand before. And charcoal has this strange feeling. It's smooth, but it has like this texture that's very different. So if you've held charcoal when I was growing up, it was like real authentic charcoal, like growing up in Jamaica, it was like in chunks and stuff. So it was a different feeling. But the texture of this thing was very foreign. And why I remember its mouth is because when I touched the face, it opened its mouth and tried to have my fingers in its mouth, like to lick my fingers. It was so nasty. And, I had to pray and I had to take authority in my sleep. And it stopped, and I got up and, prayed more and all of that. And here I am. Had to be this morning because I didn't go to bed until after midnight, having a dream like this. And so, guys, could I be under spiritual attack? I could say that, but the enemy is going to come. He's going to come. And I just did that fast last week. The Lord also just had me pray against murder, suicide yesterday. So one of the things I'm learning and that I believe is that when you're praying like that and when you're fasting like that, the enemy's going to come. The enemy will come. Doesn't mean we have to just accept it and be like, oh, well, I guess I should expect to be attacked. This is just what it is. But, it just lets me know I have to remain in prayer and understand that the enemy will come and the enemy will manifest. He will manifest in your life in different ways. The closer you are to God, the more you are seeking him out, the more you are crying out to him and reaching out to him, the more you get in a position of fasting and praying for others, especially when you're interceding for others, because that's something I sense God is putting in me, praying for other people, impromptu prayers on certain concerns and maybe something that's happening right then. And I know that prayer that I did yesterday on murder, suicide, it was like the Lord put in my heart like, hey, you need to go pray right now. And I did. I stopped what I had planned to do at that very moment and just went and started to really intercede. So the enemy will come. The enemy will try to silence us and maybe try to get you in a place where you may not even want to pray anymore. You'll be like, if every time I pray, I'm going to get attacked. Sorry. Because really, guys, I was very disgusted And this last one with that thing, with all those little things moving in his mouth, it was very disgusting, guys. And yeah, ew. So the only thing that I could say, guys, is when we begin to pray, and when the closer you're getting to the Lord, and the more you begin to intercede for other people, and the more you are fasting and praying, yes, you're going to get breakthrough. Yes, you're going to get the victory, but also know the enemy will come. This is when the enemy comes. He comes to kill, to steal, to destroy. He comes to bring, he comes to silence you, to make you doubt, if the fast worked or not. That's what he's going to do. Remember, Jesus fasted for 40 days and for 40 nights. And when he fasted, the enemy came right out. The enemy came right there to test him and to try him. I don't know if I just experience these things at a higher level than some people. As I told you, when the Lord releases me and gives me the okay, I will do a video on my supernatural experiences. I'm going to talk a lot deeper of the things that I've experienced. I've done a few videos, but this one is like different. It's very different from anything that I've spoken about, where I'm talking about tangible evidence of the supernatural. That the supernatural does exist, guys. And the enemy, the way the enemy operates is through fear. If they can get you to be scared, if the enemy can get you to be afraid and to doubt God, and to doubt if he's with you. I mean, that's how he operates. If he can get you to begin to think, to be fearful, to be scared to pray. If you're afraid of the spiritual realm, if you are afraid of demons, you're going to have a hard time, guys, because that's a part of our walk. The Lord encountered demons a lot. Some of us, I think, depending on our calling and what it is that we do, the manifestations might be a little bit different. But a lot of times, unclean spirits manifest through people. You are around unclean spirits more than you know. You are around them more than you know. Okay? And the reason why that happens is because demons need bodies. They can operate without bodies sometimes, guys, but that's what they do. They just manifest through people who are being disobedient, people who are living their lives on their terms and how they want to live. It's very common, all right, for them to when they do that, then these unclean spirits are going to just be working through these people, working through these individuals, and they're going to behave a certain way. And then other times, guys, people are going to get perhaps a manifestation when these things are trying to come into your dreams, and they're trying to enter in through your through how do I say, dreams, visions, and physically attacking you. Okay? And if you don't know and understand what it is, you're going to be scared. You're going to be so afraid, and you're going to be backing down. And I just believe the closer we get to the Father, whether you have tangible experiences or not, we need to ensure, guys, that we are prayed up and just realize that these things will happen. These things can happen. Does not mean you are just accepting this behavior and saying, okay, this is my lot in life to be tormented, because it's not. But when it happens, don't be afraid, and don't start to say, oh, I'm gonna get out of this. I'm not gonna fast. I'm not gonna pray. But one thing I do want to tell you, something that the Lord has taught me, guys, is that while we are to pray for people, sometimes individuals will come to you and they'll be asking you to pray for them, and they'll be asking you to, they're asking you to pray, and they're having certain things going on in their lives, and you have to seek God on if you're supposed to be praying for certain people. Because let me tell you what will happen. You can be praying for a person, right? And they're not praying. This could be a person, they could be going through things because of their disobedience to God. You hear me? There are people that may be going through things because of their disobedience to God. There's people that could be going through things because they're refusing to yield to God, and so they're under demonic attack, and they are living their own lives. They're doing what they want to do. They have no intentions of following the Lord, but they're asking you to pray for them. So when you go and you pray for these people, guess what's going to happen? You start getting physically attacked. You start getting attacked by demons and start being attacked because you're praying, but this person is not praying. This person is living their life the way they want to live it and on their terms. So sometimes I've had people where they're asking me to pray and all of that, and the Lord will just speak to my heart, and He will tell me. It doesn't happen all the time, but sometimes it does. He will tell me, this is not the devil attacking them. This is a result of their sins. And other times, the Lord will tell me, this person is going through this because they've been disobedient. They're not listening. Or this person has already blasphemed me. And because they are experiencing separation, they're trying to have other people to pray. You know, when the Bible talks about how the heavens will be as brass above your head, and the earth I think the earth is like iron under your feet, like your prayers are going nowhere. And sometimes when people have disobeyed God for so long and they begin to experience that, they start to go to other people like, hey, can you pray for me? Can you do this for me? And they're out of God's will. And because a lot of people's not discerning, what are they doing? They're praying for somebody under demonic attack because of disobedience. Now you're getting all types of crazy stuff going on in your life because you got into the crosshairs of a situation with somebody that they're not going to pray, they're not going to intercede, they're not going to do the things that they're supposed to do. They're not going to do any of that. None of that do they plan to do and are going to do. They're not going to intercede. They're not going to hold you down in prayer, but they're going to ask you, oh, please pray for me. And then you're praying for them and getting your head beat in. Getting yourself attacked. Same thing with fasting. You got to be careful who you're fasting with. Be careful who you're asking to come and fast with you. Everybody's heart is not right, and it can open you up to demonic attack. So never fear, guys. The Lord will lead you. I know it may seem like it's a lot, but as long as you're praying to God and asking Him to lead you and to protect you and to guide you, you're not going to go wrong. So thank you for listening, guys. Let me know what you think of this video, if you've had any similar experiences. All right, guys. Peace.